Welcome back to the Mayorverse, everybody. Mayor Reynolds, aka Midnight Mayor here. Thanks for joining us. Today we are talking about the movies that inspired Deadrop. Now these aren't straight confirmations, you know, from the horse's mouth, but some of these the developers have definitely mentioned. And if you're looking for more Deadrop style stuff, these movies are definitely going to be interesting to you and contain a lot of the same setting or thematic visual elements, so on and so forth. And all of these movies are actually really great classic movies that you should have watched anyway, or you should watch or revisit anyway, because they are really freaking good movies. And a lot of you know that the setting of Deadrop is super unique. I love it. I can't wait to see more stories told in the Deadrop universe. This is me once again reminding 12 a.m. that I will write for you, no problem. But let's go over it, guys. This is my opinion, not fact, but in my opinion, these are the movies that inspired Deadrop. Here we go. First and perhaps most foremost is Dread. If you have not seen Dread with Carl Urban, this is the most recent Dread movie. Please go watch it. It's on Netflix as of the recording of this video. It is highly underrated. There was a Judge Dredd movie in the 90s with Sylvester Stallone. This Dread, in my opinion, is much better and has so much in common with Deadrop. There's so much from like the tower. Take a look at this structure from within Dread. Here's all the normal buildings and skyscrapers, and then here's this tower. It's not called a tower, it's called Peach Trees. Obviously, we're not in Peach Trees in Deadrop, but this structure, and you'll see it if you watch the movie, there's so much. There's people that live in there, but it's kind of its own city with its own defenses, and there's like, you know, gangs in there, and they're manufacturing a drug. It just so happens that in Deadrop, there's, you know, toxins being removed, and probably, they're not using the term drug, but that's kind of what seems to be going on in the tower. One of the things going on. Please go watch Dread. It's so freaking good. It deserves a sequel. Super stylized. I think it, you know, really fits the bill, and in my opinion, it really inspired Deadrop. And it's actually not even an opinion. Dr. Disrespect himself has said on stream, I'm not going to play the clip because I don't want to be copyrighted, that Dread definitely influenced Deadrop. Please go watch it. If you don't know, Dread is actually a comic book series. That's what the movies are based on, or you know, born from. So both, go watch Dread, and if you like it, go pick up the comic series, because there's tons to draw on and enjoy there. It's not the same dark look necessarily like Deadrop has, but you'll see. Speaking of that dark look, I gotta go with John Carpenter's Escape from New York. Escape from New York is much better than Escape from LA, but there was a sequel. Escape from New York takes place virtually all at night. It's a very dark, you know, aesthetically movie. The whole thing takes place like overnight, where this really badass 80s action guy played by Kurt Russell is sent into New York City, which has been turned into a prison. All of New York City is essentially one big prison, and he has to try to get the president out, whose plane has crashed there. And it's such a good movie in so many ways. Here's an image of Kurt Russell again, kind of that like the 80s version of the future that we talk about in Deadrop. You know, the 80s never ended. The music of John Carpenter as well definitely influenced a lot of synth style stuff, whether it be Escape from New York or The Thing or the Halloween theme, some of which was probably going to be present in Deadrop based on the few official tracks that we have heard. But if you haven't watched Escape from New York from John Carpenter, go do it. I definitely see it as a definite influence on Deadrop. All right, next up is Blade Runner, and there's actually two Blade Runner movies. There is the original from a long time ago, really the birth of a lot of the cyberpunk-esque stuff you see today, including Cyberpunk 2077. Again, it's a very dark, futuristic movie, a lot of night tones and you know, neon lights. Here's a shot from the world of Blade Runner, that futuristic city. And it's just all around. Here's a shot from Blade Runner 2049. It's that kind of like the world has evolved in some ways ended, but in many ways new. A lot of the stuff in Blade Runner deals with what's called replicants, which are like synthetic human beings. There might be some stuff there with the cleaners and sins present in Deadrop, and I think there could be a lot of interesting stories told around the cleaners and sins and artificial intelligence and humans and how they all interact in Deadrop. I don't know. They're definitely a different style movie. A lot of great cinematography, kind of slow burn style movies. Definitely worth your time. Not really action movies. There's action in them, but they're really more about the atmosphere. So don't expect the next movie that we're going to talk about. All right, and then we got to go with the Mad Max franchise. A lot of people know about Mad Max Fury Road, the most recent entry, which stars Tom Hardy and Charlize Theron. And they're making a sequel, by the way. But Mad Max has a lot of that, not so much the darkness, but that like post-apocalyptic feel. A lot of stuff built around cars and vehicles as well, which we know we're going to be introduced in Snapshot 7 and play a major role in Deadrop. Kind of just that nomadic post-apocalyptic feel. A lot of stuff, again, with muscle cars, a future gone wrong kind of concept. Mad Max is very deserty, as you can see in a lot of these shots. The original is a very old movie, but it inspired everything that came after. The original is different time for filmmaking. But again, in a lot of these, including Dread definitely, and Mad Max, it also has that the world has kind of ended due to nuclear winter, nuclear war. Dread, it's like, you know, radio, like outside of the mega cities, it's all radioactive out there. You can't really go out there. Those kinds of ideas. And Deadrop has some of that stuff with the climate wars and areas you can't go to without a respirator kind of thing. That stuff's all covered in the Deadrop lore, and it's present in some of these other franchises as well. So that's it for the video, guys. Let me know if you enjoyed it. If you see a movie out there, or if you know about a movie that you feel like influenced Deadrop. Of course, there's a lot of stuff in the 80s and 90s that certainly has influenced Deadrop. That's a lot of what the Deadrop universe is about, was again that 1980s era that never really ended, and now we're in 2020B, like an alternate 2020 kind of thing. Let me know down in the comments what those are. I'm always looking for, you know, movies to watch or revisit as we plan Midnight 2 and all sorts of stuff like that. My own live action stuff and stories to tell within kind of the own niche of the Deadrop universe that we are building, our own, what is it, Deadrop cinematic universe or whatever. But definitely watch these movies, guys. They're all worth your time. And if you're looking for just more Deadrop flavored media, go check them out. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next one. Mayor Reynolds, Midnight Mayor, out.